Hedge fund investors have been buying junior preferred shares of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on a bet that the housing giants will repay the government $188 billion in bailout money and still have money left for shareholders. Well, the companies are making profits again, but there's a hitch. Washington wants to shut them down. Here to explain why the bet could still pay off despite the odds is Michael Kao, founder of Akanthos Capital Management. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you've been a long-time investor in the GSE commons and preferreds, and you made an early call in 2011 that the companies will be profitable again. But it doesn't matter how much profits they make, you're not going to get a penny until the government is repaid. And under the current bailout agreement, there is no repayment mechanism. And we also have two GSE reform bills in Congress, which basically are very different, but they want to see both the agencies wound down. So why are you still so confident that you'll make money despite the political odds?
Well, certainly, there's political risk in this trade, but if there's anything I've learned over the last several years in being involved in a number of situations where a government has been involved, is that the political winds can shift quite dramatically. As a matter of example, back during the days of the auto restructurings, during the GM and the Chrysler restructurings, I remember where the political winds were clearly favoring basically a disenfranchising of creditor rights in favor of the UAW. But what was unexpected that happened was that the mom and pop retail bond investors rose up and said, hey, wait a second, why are you doing this to us in favor of the UAW? And within 30 days, the political winds shifted so much that a completely different result in the market happened. So in the case of Fannie and Freddie, because of the injustices that were done to creditors and preferreds in the process of conservatorship, I think that if some of the disenfranchised investors, like the community banks, the insurance companies, if they came forward and actually told their story about how the government wronged them, the political winds could shift quite dramatically.
So shares of both the commons and preferreds have zoomed, and the smarter bet is supposedly the preferred shares because they get paid first. Do you see any value in the commons at all?
Well, so depending on the way in which these companies can be capitalized, there could be a very dilutive impact to the common in favor of the preferreds, because the preferred class is really the class that is most likely to be used as a way of basically re-injecting private capital into the system. That said, the earnings power of these entities now is such, as long as the government sees fit to not dismantle them and kind of cut off the nose to spite the face, if you will, there could be significant enterprise value to the tune of $200–300 billion. So in that scenario, certainly there could be a lot of value left for the common.
And lastly, how long are you prepared to wait for this trade to work out? Because there's a lot of talk, but we don't see much action in Congress.
Well, we have been in this trade for a number of years, and for us, it's not about one trade or hitching everything to this particular star. So our style investment is that we have a lot of pokers in the fire, if you will. We have a lot of event options, and so in some cases the catalysts are very short-term and explicit. In some cases, the catalysts are latent and uncertain, and this is one of those. But what you get for in return is that if this trade works out, obviously it's a very asymmetric one. So for us, it's a portfolio approach.
Well, good luck with your bold bet, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I'm Shanti Bharadwaj for TheStreet.